Okay, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Good afternoon, students. Thank you for joining us today to this exciting webinar. Here at Majan University College, we thrive to ensure that theory meets with practice through translating what you teach to what the market uses and requires. So it is with special excitement that I am pleased to welcome both of our speakers to our webinar on CRM and the future trends of customer engagement, and that is organized by the Faculty of Business Management at Majan University College. So thank you both, Ms. ARTI and Ms. AQEELA, for your valuable time. Dr. Vina is going to introduce us the first guest. Dr. Vina.
Thank you so much, Dr. Amar. That was a wonderful introduction, and definitely I agree with you that this is one of our efforts to make the students aware of the current trends in the industry, and we will keep on doing this in the coming future also. I'm really happy and grateful that ARTI has agreed to be on the guest list of this or on the panelist of this webinar. ARTI is not only the childhood friend, but we have kind of grown together in India, grown together in the industry and at workplaces. And ARTI, it is pleasure for me and for management that you are here with us. Now, regarding ARTI, she is an expert in the field of marketing, and she had very successful stint with the retail industry, digital, beauty and wellness, and of course food industry. Currently, she's working in the media industry and with one of the most popular radio networks in India. I will not say more about ARTI. Let's see what she has to say to all of us and what she has to deliver to our students. Thank you once again, ARTI. All to you.
Thank you so much, Bina, for such a beautiful introduction. And thanks, Dr. Amar. Of course, we've grown together in professional circuit, and it's to keep coming back and doing these presentation with your students. So thank you guys for having me on the panel. Talking about my own career, so I started off my career with retail, and that's like a 7-year-long stint with malls, and that's approximately almost 1.5 decade, which is 16 years from today. So that point in time, retail was just starting, and when we talk about retail, it is all about a customer experience. And in retail, everything starts with a detail. Okay, so it is all about how much more we can give to, and make the entire experience worthy of what the customer is spending. So that is exactly where the role of retail gets in place and breaks the clutter for the customer. So I think so when this topic came in, I was really excited because in the fraternity I have worked for 16 years, it's always been about customer and for the customer. So when we talk about future of customer, and they asked me this question 15 years back, I would not have guessed that what it should be, because what I see today is completely different. And students, why I'm saying this is because I've seen such a huge difference in terms of how we used to talk about customer relationship management in year 2005 to what we are talking about in 2020. And especially with the pandemic, it has completely changed. So while as much as we say we are internet and with everything going digital, the meaning of customer experience and customer engagement has completely changed. Why I'm saying so is initially we would have solutions which would be one size fit all. But when I talk today, it is definitely not. If at all, it is not about I, me, myself as a customer in the proposition the brand is offering. It is definitely not the for me. So it's completely changed as to solutions what we were offering 15 years back to what we are offering now. And with so much of digital information all the time, your interface and the way you are reaching out and solving their problems, engaging them has completely changed. If say as a brand approach, I would not be present on social media. I think so you would pull yourself with your brand. If you say I will not be available on calls, not acceptable. If you say I will not be acceptable, I will not be available to my customer on an email, not happening. You may not have a store today, that's completely okay. But the moment you say you will not be present for your customer on digital platforms, and not just being present. Present means not just having a page which is hyper responsive. And when I say hyper responsive, it is not that you need the page to be interacting with the customer as human, but it needs to be the machine. So with so much of internet solutions, everything is about AI. How effectively you can communicate to your customer, bridging out all the gaps and being, because for everybody now it is about being in a moment. I don't mind spending $1,000 extra, but I should be getting the service which I am paying for. Don't give me discount, but give me service. And give me service which is the value, and that is what the customer is demanding these days. So I will take a step back with my previous company, which is VLCC. It is India's #1 wellness. It was the first one to pioneer into the space of wellness and beauty business. Right now, it is operating with over 300 plus stores across India and international, including Gulf countries. So while, and I will be talking about the quick 2 years journey wherein we worked a lot on CRM and how we actually created new processes, just looking at what we had available and what more we can offer to the customers. So typically speaking, I will quickly do it in next 5 minutes so that you know in a broader perspective what it is. But if at all you feel there is a question, you can always put, we will take into the moderation session later, 10 minutes quick. So at VLCC,
Arti, if I can just interfere here, students, if you have any questions, any attendees, you can type in the question box in the chat. Go on. Thank you.
Perfect. Great. So I will be taking you through a quick thing, and I would keep it as short as possible, while I can always be available to put discussion in details if any student is interested in taking up a particular discussion. So at VLCC, our biggest thing was we are an offline store present across 300 locations and present across the length and width of the country, which means there is multiple languages, there are multiple cultures, there are different kind of people we are dealing as customers. Style is completely different. So I would have a customer who's staying in metro, would not have time, but would have a lot of money, and he knows he's an informed customer. Then I would also have a customer maybe sitting in Salem, which is in South, and he knows what his surroundings is, but he has pretty lot of time for himself to be putting in VLCC. So the first thing which you need to do, as I said, it's not one size fits all. So you have to make a custom program which is for each and every customer. So we profiled all of, starting from their age group to their occupation to their location, what is their requirement and what is that VLCC can offer as a brand. Going to the second point, what are the touch interfaces which we have available? It is very important for you as a CRM expert to know how you're reaching out your customer, and that starts with what your brand has taken in the past from your customer, and if the details are not sufficient, how are you going to actually optimize it. So in basic format, we had their mobile numbers, we knew their age group because they were taking certain treatments which would be related to age, like anti-aging treatments and all. So we knew their age, we knew what treatments they are taking, but in all likelihood we might not have all of their contacts. So we started working on bridging up this gap in terms of data enrichment, and data enrichment is the most important part for a marketer to know who exactly their customer is. You will not be able to do most of your marketing if at all you don't know who you're catering to. So it is important to do the data enrichment, and we a campaign wherein we took all the possible details we could, starting from their date of birth to their Google, Gmail IDs to their social handles, all of this. And we started rewarding the customer for each and everything. So basically we divided all the actions into 5 things where we have to reach out to the customer and see what they are saying about us. So the first thing was about what is the kind of social presence a customer has, how active they are on their social handles. So we need to keep as a brand ourselves updated on our social media handles. And if at all a customer is trying to reach us, are we able to get back to him that who he or she is? When you are operating 300 stores, it apparently becomes very difficult to identify a customer with their name. So we capture their social media handles by making them do a few logins. Secondly, Google profiles. So this is a very important, and this is something which I would like to specifically highlight. Marketer, the first thing which you need to look at are the avenues which are available to your brand to do a brand building without really putting in a lot of money in it. So Google profile for us was the easiest thing. With 300 stores listed on Google Maps with an average rating of 1.2 stars was really impacting the overall hygiene of the brand. So the first step which we did and took was we have to improve this rating. Thankfully, in a duration of 6 months, we were able to raise this to a 4-star. Only problem was that the customer who were rating us were the customer who were not happy. What we did to reverse this was to customers who were very happy with us, reward them for rating us on Google with a service at the center, and we took our rating up to 4 stars, and 4 changed a lot for us. Why I'm giving this number is because we were able to raise our search on Google to 47 lakhs within 6 months, and that, trust me, that is a very big number, and that is a bigger number than the normal paid reach we were having. This was an absolute organic reach. We made them to do this every time they are looking, they have to go to Google, and that made us our service being used more frequently on Google. Then the second thing, very, very important, is your call center. So while your call center operates at a particular capacity, because every call center of a company is built as per the number of customer the respective platform is serving, and accordingly you do a planning of how many people are going to answer to the customer. So if at all you have a call center which is not operating to the best of it, like for example, if I have maybe a minute of wait time while I'm contacting a customer center, that's completely a no-no. If at all you're not able to answer in initial 20 to 30 seconds, you actually already made a bad impression on it. So what we did was we actually optimized the call center by making automated voice process wherein we could define, so while the customer picks up the call, calls us, he's on a voice. Hello? I hope I'm not lost. Okay. So apparently he or she is on a voice call only, but the moment you give her an option that whether your request or the query is around beauty or it is around wellness, and while she is doing a or two, the engagement. So it is important. What we had like a minute of into an engagement time of 40 seconds really gave the customer a direction to who the query is to and how she is going to get the answers. So basically this really the overall call volume to churn rate, because we were able to a beauty person as a call center executive. Beauty is only being addressed by somebody who already knows beauty as a vertical really well, rather than to go to a person and then the person gets diverted to another person on call to handle a beauty. So this way we optimized all the incoming calls which were coming to our call center. Secondly, at the centers, again we put automated calls. So every call that was landing onto a center number, that was also getting recorded, and in case a call is not being answered, then it was made a call back. So this really makes a lot of difference onto a brand when you reach out to the customer who's trying to reach you out, because a customer either tries to reach out to you for business or for a business resolution. So it is important for you to have buckets really clear and also keep churning good numbers in both of these buckets. Then the third one was SMS. So we started working upon SMS campaigns very impactfully and turning all the SMS campaigns to a call to action SMS. So say for example, if I am saying you get to have a laser session, I am not just sending you an offer that says, okay, this is what the offer is, you're getting 40% off. Rather, I would interface which gives a customer an understanding what a laser session is. So he gets a tutorial around it, he gets a YouTube link, the session is going. In that video, in between we put all the call to action in terms of offers what we are offering. So this changed the entire interface of SMS being used as more effective tool than sending a space or a vanilla offer of a discount or something. Then we started working upon a net promoter score, which is called as NPS. NPS is very, very important when it comes to customer engagement and customer relationship management, because while a company looks for investors or people to put in money into the brand, it is the most important metrics to evaluate how happy your customers are. And a happy customer always comes with a service which is being delivered well, and also for value to money to what a customer is paying for. So with every service being done, we started sending out a link which a customer can give his response, and even the center doesn't get to know what is the kind of response the customer has given. So the customer gives it right out of the center when he's at home, and he talks about the service which he had, the person who serviced him, and what is his satisfaction rate in terms of the service which is being delivered. And all of these options or the responses which we want from the customer are tailor-made. So say for example, if I went for a different NPS form, if I went for, let's say, a weight loss session, it will be a completely different set of questions which will be put across. Also, seeing the response and the nature of a customer, we would also change how we want to manipulate this, because ultimately all of this is going to impact your overall performance. Lastly, what is important is whenever you have a customer problem, the first thing, I mean, like with today's age, it doesn't happen that a customer picks up the call. The first thing which an unhappy customer does, straight go out on your social media and start bashing you up. So say for example, I ordered a TV and the TV has come without a remote. I would not call up the call center. I would go and put it on the Facebook page of the brand saying that my TV is being delivered but the remote has not come, because I know that they will read this on a call center. So it is very important to have all of these 5 different verticals connected together on a platform and also being responded on that respective platform. So all of this, as I say, might look complex, but the way our AIs work, they work very, very differently. So say for example, somebody popped up a question onto my social media, I would have the bots in place which is enabled by artificial intelligence, who takes the crux of the message, and they automatically are intelligent enough to respond to the customer. The customer will feel that the customer is getting a response instantly from the brand, but actually it is not so. It is the bot who's replying. And basis the nature of the customer is putting forward, we actually keep taking it, and tickets are being raised to the respective person in concern who can actually address it. So your basic interface is always being done by artificial intelligence, which is a system driven intelligence, and that actually evolves over a period of time for your brand. So all of these buckets really do a lot of impact for us in terms of how we want to handle our customers. All of this is very, very important for a marketer, because all the campaigns which you plan, you should know that what is the kind of response you had for previous campaign with a similar space. Like for example, if at all I want to run a haircut campaign, I should know what time of the year, what kind of offers for a hair category works, and what are the running trends of the market. So all of this comes together when we know our customer and when the customer had made themselves available to us. More importantly, in India, most of the apps and services that work identify you as an email ID or a mobile number, and that becomes like a bigger identity of a customer than the actual identity. So I may be a customer RT SINGH, but what to a brand I maybe would be just my email ID or number. That's how a brand identifies me. And of course, basis my interactions across different platforms, the website I'm searching information upon, to the apps which I'm using on my mobile number and the email ID which is tagged, a brand gets to know a lot more about the customer. And this becomes very, very important for us as the brand marketer to actually pick out our buckets of interaction with the customer when we are planning any of the marketing campaigns. So while we say all of this, and when we talk about, because nowadays it is not the customer who's coming to you who's not informed. With so much of digital information being available on any topic, each and every customer that comes to a brand now is much more informed and much more aware about his rights and his the value which he is paying in terms of money and what he actually can demand. So it becomes very, very important that with every customer we try and do something which is exclusively for the customer. Even a thing which is as small as a birthday wish. If I have to design an emailer and if I do it as wishing you a very happy birthday, right? This may go completely wrong. Versus if I do, hey Arti, hope you're having a good day, wishing you a very, very happy birthday from XYZ brand. So the moment it has my name in it, that makes the entire difference to me. So maybe this might look like a very small thing for somebody who's planning an email campaign, but doing it customized to the person's name, to actually talking to his personality or his persona. So like for example, if Arti is a cool dude, then I would have my communication which speaks a lot around the cool language. If Arti is more spiritual, then maybe my communication to Arti should be more spiritual in the space which she is. So it is about for the right kind of platforms to communicate to your customer and also keep a track of what you want out of that customer in terms of even sending an email. If at all it has something for the customer that he or she may redeem at your store, really makes a lot of difference. Maybe I say, if you we would like to fix up your hair for today evening, please come over to a center near you. So that makes a happy birthday wish far more impactful, far more engaging, and also beneficial for the brand of getting the customer back to the respective store. So maybe this is how I would like to kind of summarize on this, in terms of saying however good and however best practices you put in place, but it is the most important thing that you should know where your customers are coming from and who you are communicating. And as much as you can keep giving out to the customer, which is to one customer, even if you are handling 1,000 or 1,000,000 customer at one go. So when the communication is one-to-one to a customer, that is when your approach and strategy is really falling in place. Yeah, Beena, over to you.
Oh, that was really, really good, Aarti. And I had taken my notes. I have so many questions in my mind. But before I do that, Dr. Amar, maybe I'll give you the floor to introduce Ms. AQEELA. Thank you for that, Aarti. Be with us, please.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Beena. We will introduce AQEELA after I think we are done with Aarti, because I'm sure we are excited to ask her so many questions. But if I may, I would like to ask her, I would start with asking her one question that I have from this interesting session. Aarti, thank you very much. First of all, that was quite an interesting information you gave us from Wellness, VLCC. We do have VLCC as well in Oman. And,
yes,
you know, it's, you know, the name is associated with obesity here, particularly in coronavirus and COVID-19 times when we are stuck at home.
I can so imagine.
Yeah, and the thing that what struck me the most is the role of technologies and how what kind of role that they're playing in the marketing field. So my question would be is how exactly AI, because you talked about artificial intelligence and the role of artificial intelligence right now, and it's playing a significant role at the moment in marketing. So how artificial intelligence helps brands to handle their customer relationships, and what do you point of view and that extensive experience you have, the future will look like with these new technologies coming in place and being integrated in all these business fields, particularly marketing?
Right. So I would again go back to my previous example of VLCC, though company anymore. So while I said AI is very extensively being used in multiple interface. So when I talk about automated response to a service in terms of somebody trying to reach me out on, let's say on my website in a chat box. So the chats which we see on a on a website, when you see that chat icon that comes up. So the responses which are being feeded in that chatbot are completely automated. So it's not anybody as a person you are actually interacting. It's completely artificial intelligence driven, where the chatbots are established, and there's a lot of research that goes in establishing or putting out a chatbot for a particular brand and service, wherein all possible questions are already feeded in. So say for example, if I want to say laser, then I would look at all medical conditions, all skin types, all age group, and all the possible questions which a customer might have in each and every age group to this particular solution as facial hair removal, right? So all the keywords and everything is being feeded in, and the moment somebody types, "Hi, I'm looking for a facial hair remover," automatically the chatbot runs through all the algorithms and proposes out an answer that is particular to that respective thing. And as the conversation goes up, like for example, maybe 10 interactions happen just with the bot, and the moment we see the customer is very, very interested and passes those 5-10 parameters which we have set, then these tickets are raised to the person responsible at the CRM end to take forward or handhold the customer with the basic information, and everything else is being taken care by the artificial intelligence. Another example I would like to put across, because it is important, beauty industry works completely on personalization. I'm sorry guys, this might sound a little heavier. So even say for example, a anti-aging treatment, when it happens, it is very particular to a face. I may have a round face, right? So when a anti-aging treatment is to be given to me, I have to look in a certain way even while I'm undergoing an anti-aging treatment, versus a person who might have an oval face or might have a long face, right? So everything is very, very customized to a particular customer. And this is where again AI gets into action, because I cannot explain to a customer as a doctor all the time. So the system and the way the cameras of mobile phones are operating, a simple scan of your face can really tell you what are the kind of treatments you require to fix up your face, right? These things might not be something which you can actually explain by drawing a person's face and then telling that you might need an injection here. All of this becomes very, very automated. Or what kind of a lip color will really look good on you. So all of this happens with just putting out certain filters in the app, and this is where the artificial intelligence gets in place. And most important is how you record so much of data and process it. Humanly, it is not possible. Like for example, we have thousands of customers across centers, and every customer has a different problem in terms of medical problem to obesity, and he needs to be treated very differently in terms of a diet which he is to be given, which should also take care of the allergies or other things which he is following in terms of medications. So to process a custom diet for that particular individual as one person, humanly it is not possible. So all of these kind of interfaces really help a lot, take a lot of help from the technology in place, and also this really helps us in keeping the entire data. So data management, as I said, is very, very critical for a marketer to know at any given point in time how many customers are undergoing what treatment, what is the kind of upsell that is possible, how I can churn out more money out of the customer, and what is the kind of communication I need to put out to that customer. So all of this becomes really easy by putting right kind of interfaces and right kind of technology for a respective user.
Thank you very much.
Just to,
an extensive explanation.
Sorry, just last one. So just last one. So even a customer who has taken a service at India center, if he visits a Dubai center at a particular location, store manager can very well see the entire history of the customer back in India. So that kind of robustness and like a direct approach to a customer makes all the difference for a marketer.
Thank you very much. And that shows the extensive or the role of technologies that it plays in marketing. And that's what we try to teach our customer, the importance of information. And, information is actually the main backbone of marketing. So thank you very much, ARTI. Dr. Veena?
Can I go ahead with one more question, Dr. Amar?
We still have time, so go ahead, feel free.
Okay. Aarti, just excuse me for this. You had explained such nicely about the wellness industry, beauty and wellness industry. I have one question from your current industry. If you can speak about it, that what can be, because our students really would like to hear about it, that how the
Sure.
entertainment industry has evolved, especially in India, representing, a lot of emerging markets nowadays. So
Absolutely.
if you can just talk about India, that can be helpful for our other emerging markets. Thank you so much, dear.
Thank you so much, Meena, for bringing this. In fact, I completely missed what I'm doing currently, and that holds a lot of value. So coming to entertainment and coming to a radio, I'm working with radio. That happens to be the coolest radio of India. And the TG which we target is between 18 to 35. And when I say 18 to 35, that's the age metrics which we look at. But if in India we talk about a 30-year-old, the 30-year-old doesn't think of himself as a 30-year-old, or a 40-year-old doesn't think himself of a 40-year-old. So it's a -10 on age metrics, if we say so. So a 40-year-old for Indian market is I would say a new 30-year. So whatever marketing we do, we actually look at TG who's 40 plus, but we say we are targeting 35. Okay. So when it comes to radio, it is all about everything that happens on a audio mode, which means you can't see a person, but you are listening to the person. So you actually consume a lot of information which is delivered to you through the radio sets which are there in the cars, or it is available to you in terms of devices. Unfortunately, the smartphone interface in India now no more have that interface. By regulations from the government, it is mandatory that you should have a radio app in your phone, but smartphones playing smart, they don't have it. So that puts across a very important challenge to us as radio people to be present and have the kind of share of voice we can have, because we are 100% audio platform. And as I talked about interface or internet doing its thing, being a devil as well, and being the space wherein it actually flourishes well. So as Red FM, we have taken an approach wherein we have ensured that each and every RJ, which is a radio jockey, who's like the key representative on media, has a social media handle across all platforms. Because you are speaking content, it is important for you to be present on Twitter, to take part in various debates. It's important to be present on Facebook and Instagram. Why I'm saying so is, like, while advertiser now approaches us, doesn't look for only the FCT. So what plays on radio, guys, is called as FCT, which is free commercial time, and that is what the brand pays for. And then there is a NPT, which is non-prime time and prime time. So that's how your entire bandwidth on radio is being divided. But what is happening interestingly now is, and especially after the pandemic, it has actually grown multiple times. So whatever commitments which are being given to a radio advertiser, now it is 100% digital as well. So nobody is taking campaigns which are exclusively, so they are also taking it on digital, because that's where you can see a performance. Now talking about how we are using technology, as I said, we are a radio is an audio medium. And if at all you guys have heard of podcast is becoming the new wave. And with all these AI devices, your Alexas of the world, or your Google Mini or Google Home, everything goes on an audio command. So we, being, historically we are the audio platform. We had been audio forever. So we have very nicely slipped into this space of podcast, and every RJ across the station. So we are present in 69 cities. So that means there are 69 stations which are operational, and each and every station is being given responsibility to create a lot of content which is hyper local in nature, which means it speaks the language of that city. It has the flavor of that respective city, and it turns into a podcast which could be heard across the length and width of the country. Anybody who has a Red FM India app can listen to that podcast. So with this, radio is now breaking the boundaries of being present in a city or being telecasting at a particular hour. Even if you miss it, you are able to consume the same information or the content across any time of the day, any point. And the podcast apps which we work upon, they are again made very smart. if you might have heard or seen this piece wherein your music apps play over other apps. So like for example, even if you're replying back your emails, your music keeps working in the background. And that is exactly how a RedFM India app works, wherein it will keep playing the content in the background, and whatever you're doing, you're running, you're jogging, you're working on an email, or you're cooking, you are actually tuned into the content. So that's how we are reaching out to the customer and making it robust, irrespective the customer is not physically radio.
Thank you so much, Arti, for that. Dr. Amar, I have one more question. Can I ask her? Arti, are you there?
Yes, I'm there, and I'm really sorry
No
problem.
Yeah. No problem. So can I go ahead with my question, Arti? Am I audible?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Arti, in your talk, you have discussed this word NPS. So we have heard generally about NPV. So
Yes.
Can you elaborate on this NPS for me and for my students both? When you were giving the discussion about the VLCC brand, you use something around like NPS.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So NPS stands for Net Promoter Score. So Net Promoter Scores is actually an overall average of a customer experience at a particular brand and what the brand holds in terms of a customer. So say for example, if at all I am a customer who is visiting a X brand or using a product of a particular brand, what is my genuine and neutral feedback about the brand without having a brand person in view. So which means the brand doesn't have an influence on the opinion of the customer, and opinion is given on a platform which is outside the brand. So it is not being told by the brand. You have to hire an agency or a platform on which you put out your NPS score. And this becomes very, very important when a brand is looking out for promoters or the people to put in money into the brand, because that becomes a neutral platform. And most of the times these people who put in money in the brand, who are basically your venture capitalists, they actually look at the NPS of a brand, and NPS of a brand is always in percentages, and it is very important for you to keep a healthy percentage. Like for example, VLCC, when we started, we were at a percentage of 66, which is again a decent percentage, but always it is good to have something between 70 to 80%. So in NPS, there are a lot of, the customer, depending upon the response which they submit on this NPS form, are being categorized, promote their friends and refer the brand to that particular, to the respective brand. But then there are distractors. Distractors are people who are extremely unhappy with the brand and in all likelihood not going to refer people to the brand, which means the brand is not serving them well. So the entire game remains around balancing out these promoters and these distractors. And as you keep increasing your promoters, your NPS scores keep going up. No brand has 100%, but every brand aims to be a 80 plus. And it is not very difficult to actually achieve it if at all you're able to minimize and constantly monitor it and keep seeing what is your room for improvement. So say for example, if your NPS scores are constantly talking about less lightning in the respective center, which means that that is a problem there. You need to fix it. And the moment you fix it, the response to that will automatically turn to positive. So this becomes very important, especially brand looking out to go public and is looking for an IPO. So this becomes like a benchmark. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for explaining it so well. Thank you. Dr. Amar?
Thank you very much, Arti. Thank you for this valuable experience and within the marketing and within the retail industry. You've given us, or you've given our students as well, some really good insights on how technologies play a huge role in providing excellent and superb customer experience. Thank you again for that.
Thanks so much.
So I would like to call our next speaker, Miss AQEELA Al LAWATI. AQEELA, are you here? You could
Yes,
come online.
Yes. Hi.
Hi. If you could open your webcam.
Hi,
Perfect.
Omar. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you very much. How are you, AQEELA?
Alhamdulillah. All good.
Perfect.
Hi,
So,
AQEELA.
I'm good.
just
How are you, Niva?
We are good. Thank you so much for being here.
It's a pleasure to have this opportunity with Majan College, and I would like to thank you and Ammar for giving me this opportunity. And it's my first time. I hope I do well.
Sure.
No, you'll do great. I'm sure you'll do great. And I think from just to let the audience know, AQEELA is our alumni, isn't it? AQEELA, you have done your bachelor's here?
Yes, I did my BA with honor from Majan College University.
Fantastic. So it's really our pleasure that to have you back here as a speaker that gives us an insight from the industry, the banking industry. So just to introduce you a bit to our students, our participants, AQEELA Al LAWATI is a senior manager of the elite department at Oman Arab Bank. Basically, if you don't know, the elite department is the department that takes care of all the VIP clients at Oman Arab Bank. So AQEELA leads her team to ensure that her clients receive the most excellent banking service when they're banking at Oman Arab Bank. So today, inshallah, she's here to tell us the importance of customer relationship management, how she and her team are able to engage with their existing customers, and how they are able to attract new customers at Oman Arab Bank. I'm sure both AQEELA will be providing us with her practical experience, and we can as students, we can put it on work as soon as we go back to our classes. So please join me in welcoming AQEELA Al LAWATI. AQEELA, the floor is all yours. I'm going to provide you with the presenting functionality right now.
Thank you, Ammar. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Welcome. You guys are all welcomed on this webinar today, where I'm going to customer relationship management. As Ammar introduced you guys about myself, that I work as a senior RM in elite department in Oman Arab Bank. Ammar, can you see me?
Yes, we can see you.
Yes. I'm giving you the share screen function. We could accept it.
You're giving me which function?
Sharing your screen. So I'm just...
Is it okay?
We can't see your screen yet, AQEELA.
Screen, okay, just 1 minute. It's already there, my screen.
You need to share what you have done earlier?
Is it okay now?
No.
Showing.
No. What I will do, just a second, the screen. I will give you again the
Okay.
just the yes, and we're on to go. Perfect. So I'm going to close my webcam and mic. The mic is all yours.
Okay. Let me slideshow this. Okay, guys. So I was introducing myself basically. I work for elite department in Oman Arab Bank, where we look after the customer relationship management and we engage with the clients. I have almost 16 years experience in the banking industry. I started working with Ahli Bank and then I moved to Bank Sohar. And right now I'm in Oman Arab Bank for almost 5 years and 7 months. I have done my higher diploma from SQU, and then I did my BA, as Ammar mentioned, from Majan College, and at last from Strathclyde University from Glasgow. So this is just brief about myself. Let's start the session now. Before starting the session, I would like to give you a lifetime scenario which really happened with me. One of those days, I drove to the nearby store for my son, since his birthday was due within 2 months' time. And I bought a bicycle, and this bicycle comes with 1-year warranty. And I'm used to go to this store. I mean, it's just nearby store. I mean, I'm a usual client to them. Bicycle, and I stored it until the birthday, and then on my son's birthday, I gave it to him. Now, when I gave it to him, we found out that there was a small part of the bicycle which was broke. So we had to go back to the store, and I asked them if they can change the bicycle for me, or if they can refund them the money, whatever I paid. And the sales guy there was like, ma'am, we cannot change it for you. We cannot refund your money because you don't have the receipt with you. So immediately it clicked in my mind that, yeah, okay, of course you have the system with you, you have your records. Can you check your records? You might have the electronic receipt. They went back, they checked all the records, the receipts, and they found my purchasing dates and all the details in their system. Now, when they were like, even though we found it, we cannot change it for you because it's not covered under the warranty. And if you came within 15 days time, we would be able to help you, but now we cannot help you. So I got really pissed off. I got really upset. I was like, okay, thank you very much. I just walked out of the store. But on the back of my mind, I was like, I'm never gonna go back to this store. I'm not gonna leave this store because I spend almost every year 500 Riyal Omani to 1,000 Riyal Omani in that store. And today they gave me that kind of service, okay, and I'm a loyal client to them. So in back of my mind, I said that I'm not gonna go back to this store, and I just took a decision. So what do you think now? What do you think? What happened here? What do you find out of all this, the whole scenario? That this store has lost one of his loyal clients. So out of this, that we can understand that customers are the most unique, and they are measurably valuable asset to any or company or a bank. But how we can know what value is the customer today, what value is the customer would be tomorrow, and how to increase this value? Hello, Ammar?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go on.
Yes, you go on, AQEELA. Wasn't a question to the audience?
No, I was just explaining that there is a box appearing every time to share my webcam. That's okay?
No problem.
Just accept share my webcam because I think your webcam is gone.
Okay. I accept it.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. So I was saying that yeah, the customer is the most valuable asset that any company or a bank or an organization would have. And to understand what value is the customer today, what value the customer would be tomorrow, and how to increase the value of the customer, and how to retain your existing client. Now, this all can happen only if we have a proper customer relationship management, which is called CRM. So this will take us to the definition of CRM. What is a CRM? CRM is a technology for managing all your organization's relationships and interactions with your customers and existing customer and the potential customers. To put it in simple words, CRM is a way to generate revenue and profit for your business and for your company or organization. Now, CRM helps the companies to stay connected with their clients, okay, with the streamlined processes and increasing the profitability of a business. Basically, this is just a short definition about the CRM. We're gonna elaborate it more in the coming few minutes, in the next few minutes. So the objectives, the objectives of today's presentation is to understand the concept of customer relationship management, to acquire the necessary knowledge on the importance of customers during this pandemic, to use the tips to maintain the relationship, the bank or any organization and its customers. Now, I explained to you what is a CRM. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, let's see here. So now CRM has different pillars. Okay, it has three kind of pillars. It has its people, who are your customers. It has the process, which is your policies and procedure of an organization or a bank, for example. And the technology. The technology means that anything that can be integrated into a system. Let me give you an example here. Like, for example, if you want to extract any information about any client, so you might have certain applications where you can collect information and data about the customer from different sources, different applications, and then store it in a centralized location. So whenever if you needed any information about the client, you can go back. You can go back to that system or that CRM system software, and you can abstract all the information you need. Now that system would have all the details about your customers, about the history, the background of the client, the purchase history of the client, the credit worthiness of the client, the statement of the client, and etc. The address, the contact. I mean, it's a broad system where you can find all the information about the client. Okay. Now, why is CRM so important? CRM is important. Why nowadays the CRM is so important, especially nowadays going through this crisis and pandemic. CRM is important because, as I explained before, it generates revenue for your company. Now, how can it generate revenue and profit to your business or your company? By having a loyal client and trustable client. When these two qualities, the loyalty and the trust, they come together, these two qualities help you to generate business for your business, generate profit for your business and organization. So this is the most important element of the CRM, which is loyalty and trust. You need to know what you have to offer to your clients in order that the client will be really loyal to you. Not like what happened to me when I went to that store. That store has lost me because I didn't like the service they provided me. But if they did, if they have offered me the service I wanted, I will definitely go to that store. So this is one very important element of a CRM, to have a loyal and trust client. They always say customer is a king, no matter what. And the second point is also to create value for your customer. The CRM helps you to create value for your customer over a long period of time, so they stay to with your organization and they will not leave you. Let me give you a live example here. Like, I work in Oman Arab Bank as an elite department. When the customer comes in front of my desk, he sits, I open the account for him. I sell him the products. One of the products I will sell him, because it's in my target to sell him a credit card. Now, I want that client to be sticked with me for the future. So I offer him the credit card. I'll tell him that, sir, it is your credit card and it has a limit of so-and-so, plus it has some other benefits. Now, what are the other benefits? I want to attract the client. So, for example, I'll tell him that you can enter the lounge. You can have a chauffeur service pick up and drop to the airport. You can have your travel insurance free if you use your credit card to book the ticket. And also you can gain points on your credit card. As much as you use your credit card, you can gain points. And then you can shop online. You can book tickets online. You can book hotels online. You can do other shoppings, iPhone, laptop. It all depends on the point and how much you use your credit card. So by that, I'm engaging the client. I'm engaging the client to my product, to my organization, that I know that when he'll start using that card, he will not leave me. So in the future, he will stay with me, because we know that the human habit is what? We know the human habit that once the customer is with you, and the human habit is when the customer stays with you and they have this credit card or whatever product, as I explained, they will never leave you. They will not go, because it's a human habit. He got a comfort zone, a comfort zone with your credit card. So this is one of the examples of creating great value over a long period of time. The other thing is a happy customer. If your customer is happy from your services and your products and the way you perform, they will keep coming back to you. So this is the third one. Like one of the examples here, I would also give you from my experience that one of the days, me and my boss, we went and visited one very well-known client, and he's known in the market. So we went because we want him on board, and we want him to open an account with us as the elite client, and to have the opportunity to meet with him. So this client, he was a bit, a demanding client. I would not say stubborn, I would say a demanding client, because he has all the right to be a demanding client, because he is a knowledgeable client. He's a wealthy client. He knows what's going on in the market. So when whatever we offered him on the desk, we gave him like, sir, we can offer you this service, we can give you this interest rate, whatever we offered him, he used to negotiate. I mean, he was like, no, I'm getting better rates from other banks, I'm getting better this one from here, I'm used to this, I already have that card. So we were like, okay, we will wait for you to contact us. And when we left the meeting, we felt that he's never going to market with us. He's never going to open an account, or he's never going to, because he has his own thoughts, his own opinions. But even when we came back to office, we were like, خلاص. But I felt like, I want to take it as a challenge. I want to get that client. I want to get that client on board with us. So after 2 days, I just gave him a courtesy call. I just called him. Hi sir, how are you? Just to check on him and on his family. Nothing to do about business at all. After calling him that day, after 2 days, we had a very friendly conversation that day. After two days, the client called me back asking me, I want to place a deposit. What rate you can offer me? I mean, I was really surprised. My boss was really surprised that this happened. And I mean, I was like, subhanallah, only one call made that difference. I mean, only one call, just to call the client and just ask him about his, just check on him and ask him, make him feel comfortable. He felt that there is someone there in this bank or in this organization who can call me. Okay, who can call me and who can keep in touch with me. So the client is now with me. He's one of my loyal clients, and he keep renewing his deposits every year. So that's one of the great experience I had in Elite with my client. So if you have, as I said, one happy customer, they will stay with you. They will keep coming back to you. And if you have a happy customer will always go around. He has his friends, his family, his social circle. He will always mention you or mention your organization to his friends, his families. By doing this, you get the leads, you get a reference from your client, and you can have more business on your desk. So as I said, so this is the importance of the CRM. The first we said to create loyalty and trust. When they come to generate revenue for the business. The second we said create value for long-term relationship with the client. And the third one we said is happy customers. Always try to keep your customers happy. The fourth thing, it's not mentioned in the slides here. One of the things is competitive advantage and over the competitors. In today's world, me working in a bank, we have a lot of competitiveness going around. I mean, so many competitors, this bank is competing in interest rate, that bank is competing in its services. So how in this today's world you can retain your client? How can you keep your client with you? So it's very important to retain your clients, okay? And that will happen only if your customers are really happy with you. Now, another example I can give you here that it happened also with me. One of my clients, he had a deposit with me last year, which was maturing. A fixed deposit, which was for 1 year, which was maturing this year. Now he came back to me. I called him, sir, your FD has been matured. Do you want to renew it? He was like, no, I'm getting a better rate from other bank and your rate is low. Okay, but I was like, sir, okay, you're getting better rate, but do you know what kind of services they provide you? And do you know whether that bank is a stable bank or not? Because you know why the banks will increase their interest rates if there is a liquidity problem with them. Then only a bank will increase their interest rates. Where we are a stable bank, we have enough liquidity with us. That's why we are stable and we cannot increase. We have a maximum limit there where we can increase our rates, interest rates. Once I told the client this, I like brainwashed him. So he was like, okay, give me 2 days time. I'll come back to you. Not even 2 days. Within the next day, he called me back and he was like, okay, I want to renew my deposit with you and please go ahead. So see, it's just how you try to attract the client. It's how you try to manage your clients and try to, sometimes you try to brainwash the client, but with giving the correct facts. Maybe those points were, the clients know them for a fact, but it was not shown to the client, or he maybe forgot, or it was on the back of his mind. You showed a mirror to him. So that way, okay, he knows that, okay, that this RM she knows or he knows about what's going on in the market. Better I stay with them rather than going and having from the beginning a new relationship with any other bank. So this is basically the importance of the CRM and how the CRM would help you. There are 3 phases of CRM. Now these are 3 phrases are really very important phrases. The first is how the first phrase of the CRM is acquiring new customers. Okay, now you need to know what kind of database you need to have for to have a new customer, which means that you have to segment your clients. You need to know what segmentation and what kind and source of clients you're looking at, so you can approach them in the market. Like for example, I work in Elite. I look after the VIP clients. So I know who I'm targeting. I'm targeting those whose salaries are 3,500 riyals, or those who can manage minimum 35,000 deposits in their accounts. Now, once I get these clients, furthermore, I will also again, I'll segment them to Elite Deposit, Elite VIP, Elite Salary. Now, why I'm doing this segmentation? Because it's helped me to be organized. I know which client lay where. For example, if I have our bank is conducting an event or something, now I want to invite all the VIP. I have a portfolio and I want to select few samples from the VIP clients. I'll go to my segment of VIP clients and I'll select from them. I want, for example, there is a campaign going on for salaried clients. So I'll go to my segmented salaried clients and I will. And knowing what you want is very important. That will help you to know where are you targeting in this market and how you can acquire new customers. So this is the one thing. This is the first thing. Okay, the first phrase. The second phrase is enhancing the existing customers. Now, those customers, new customers, became your existing customers. But now you need. But now you need to know what shall. But now you need to know what shall you do to keep them with you. Okay, so they will stay with you and they will not give you, not leave you. I mean, to go to any other bank or organization. So what do you need to do? How you can retain your client? How you can enhance the relationship? This is very, very important also, because the customers is a lifeblood of your organization. They are the lifeblood of your organization. You need to enhance your relationships with them. Offer them the best service possible by enhancing and giving them the opportunities, more opportunities within your bank. They will stick with you. The third point is retaining your customers. Now, when you retain your customers, how you retain your customers? You can always cross-sell your customers to other departments. Now, if you have a client, okay, he has an individual account with you, but you know, as a background and because you did the CRM of that client and everything, and you have all the data and information of that client, you know that that client has a business. going on, and he might need some facilities. So you can always contact a corporate department. You can cross-sell the customer to the corporate department. You can, if the customer has shops, retail shops, you can always explain the POS machine and contact the who is responsible for POS machines, sell them the POS machines. So you can always cross-sell. If the customer was an individual loan, you can always cross-sell him to the loan department. So by doing that, you are engaging the client fully to your organization, because he will not only have his individual account with you, he's having his business facilities with you, he's having his shops, retail shops, POS machines with you. So you're trying to capture the client from all the angles, so that he will stay with you and will not go anywhere else. So this is about retaining your clients. Now, today we know what's going on because of the COVID and the pandemic. In today's world, how can you build a strong and clear relationship with the customer? How can you build a good relationship and try to keep your customers? As we know that the economy is struggling, some businesses are struggling, and some organization might find some difficulties to keep retaining their clients. So what shall we do, and what are the ways to relationship? Okay, so one of the things is communicate. Always try to communicate to the client. Communication is really very important, especially having a mutual communication, mutual conversation with the client. Always always try to have a mutual conversation with the client and not a one-way conversation. There might be some days where you will face clients, he's shy or conservative, and it happened with me many times. But I have to drag out the words from the client. So you have to keep asking questions. Keep asking questions, so that conservative person or that shy person will answer to your questions, and you will come up with a solution to his problem. Because without having a mutual conversation, you will not understand the client. You will not understand what his needs and wants are. So having a mutual conversation is very, very, very important. Also, you have, of course, the voicemails, you have the emails, you have online nowadays, social media. You have a lot of ways, phone calls. You have a lot of ways to communicate with a client. The second way to build a good relationship with the client is exceed the expectation of the client. Always under-promise but over-deliver to your client. When you impress the customer, they will keep coming back to you. Now, for example, if you know, like, for example, it happened with me, like when I open an account with the customer, I have to issue him a debit and credit card. I know that, in fact, I can issue him the debit card or the credit card within 1 week time. But I'll not tell the client that. I will tell him that I can issue you the debit card and the credit card. It will take around 2 weeks time. Why? Because I want to impress the client. I want to show him that I can deliver you faster than what you expected. So within 1 week time, I get his debit card and credit card, and I'll give him a call and tell him that, sir, your cards are ready. And he will be really impressed, like, oh my God, you said like it will be ready in 2 weeks time, but now it's ready. I want to impress the client. He was really impressed. One of my clients, or most of my clients, when I do that, they get really impressed, that because I'm exceeding their expectations. So always try to exceed your client's expectation. Always try to be proactive. Always try to be proactive and not and try to deliver, under promise and over deliver. That's the message basically. Also, always ask for the feedback. Now, customer, for the feedback, asking the feedback is very important, not for the organization itself, but also for your own sake. You want to get improved. You want to know what areas you want to improve yourself in certain. So by asking the feedback of the client, you can improve yourself, you can improve your services in your organization, whether it's a positive, whether it's a negative, it's a good or bad opinion, you take it. Always try to have, for example, like opinion cards on your desk or conduct a survey just to know what's the feedback of the customer regarding your services. Like they do in the restaurants, when some of the restaurants, when you're done with your lunch and dinner, they will always give you a small card. They will ask you how was the service, how was the food, whether you enjoyed, how was the restaurant, like a small survey kind of thing. So always try to ask for feedback and never take a negative feedback personally. Never take a negative feedback personally, because some of the days, we all have bad days. Okay, we are human beings. We all have bad days. So maybe that client, he's a good client, but he turned out one of the days that he came to you, he was really angry because he went through something or he had a bad day, and he started shouting on you. So try to calm him down. Try to bring him down, calm him, offer him a coffee, a cup of coffee, tea, understand his going on. Maybe the call center didn't reply to him. Maybe his card was not working. Whatever. Try to address his problem. What is the problem? And department. So and don't take it personally, even if the client is in a bad mood. Never take a negative feedback personally. Also, acquire leads. Always acquire leads from your existing clients. Ask for leads. Ask for references, because your existing clients, who are your happy clients, will always mention you as a word of mouth to his friends, his social circle, as I mentioned before. So creating leads and requiring leads are one of the important also measure in CRM, and how you can keep, how you can grow the business in your organization. And of course, there is with nowadays, the technology and online thing is happening, especially with this generation. Everyone is online, having online social media, WhatsApp, Snapchat, anything. You can connect with the client in what way you prefer, but try to always have a mutual conversation and not one-way conversation. So nowadays the technology is moving ahead, and we shall do the same. Also, always show appreciation. Especially those clients who have been with you for a long time, and who are loyal to you, okay, who trust you. Always appreciate them. For example, give them on their birthdays, okay, select a sample of few customers from your portfolio, and you can always send them flowers or bouquets of flowers or chocolates on their birthdays, or even a simple wish, through the phone, through a text message or something. This really makes the client really happy. We tried it, and because the client will always remember that, oh, so-and-so bank has sent me chocolates or flowers. But when I went to that bank never did that to me. Because I was loyal to that bank, they appreciated me. Always try to appreciate your client. Maybe you can create loyalty programs for your client and offer them a loyalty card. Whenever they buy or purchase any product and services from you, you can always, you can tell them that once you get some points on purchasing any product and service with this loyalty card, and then when they reach to a certain level of the points, they can get discount on their next purchase of product or services from you guys, from any organization or the bank. So always show appreciation to your client. So this brings us to the end of our presentation today. And always remember, a bank's or any organization true value proposition involves more than the digital experience. However, while technology is table stakes in the transformation process, the employers or the bankers' ability to complement the digital experience is by fostering relationships with its customers. That is what likely to make and differentiate the retail market into the future. Thank you very much for paying attention, and your questions are most welcome.
Thank you very much, AQEELA, for this exciting insight, I would say, on the role of CRM, customer relationship management in the banking industry. Certainly, we have learned a lot to do in your elite department, and I'm really sorry about the bad experience at the beginning. And that's my question will go to at the beginning. My first question will actually would like to highlight that part, the bad experience of how customers get dealt with, unfortunately. What have you done in your organization to ensure that your clients are not faced with something similar to what you have faced at the beginning of when you talked to us about that experience that you have with that shop or retail?
Okay, so basically you're asking me about one of the bad experience, because your voice was not clear, Ammar. So can you ask me about the bad experience?
No, I'm asking you that what have you done to make sure that the bad experience you have received in the retailer, the story that you've told us at the beginning, does not happen in your own organization?
Okay, so basically, as I said, we have something called also quality department in our organization or as a bank, and I'm sure all the organizations have that department. It's called quality department. So why this department is created? Because the quality department which will always have in touch with the client, and they will select random clients, okay, from your portfolio. They will call them, they will ask them for the experience. If any of the clients, for example, had a bad experience, they will address it to us, because we are the responsible of the clients and we are responsible for the experience of the clients. So that way we will know that, okay, maybe that customer is going through some difficulties. For example, like one of the clients, he wasn't here, he was abroad. This is one of the examples. There are lots of examples. He was abroad. He took his his debit card from us. Now, when you receive the debit card from Oman Arab Bank, if you want in the mobile application, online banking, you have to register your card. First of all, you have to activate your card in your ATM machine, and then you register it online. Now, this client has traveled without doing any of these steps, and then when he was abroad, the limit on his credit card was finished. He utilized everything on his credit card. So he called me saying that, please, AQEELA, I need to increase the limit on my credit card because I did not register myself. First option that, sir, you need to log into the Oman Arab Bank mobile application, and you can do the transfer to your credit card. But he was like, no, because I didn't activate in my card, I'm not able to log into Oman because I'm not able to register. So in that case, I had to help the client because he's abroad. So I remember very clearly that it was public holidays, it was weekend, some sort of holidays, and I called my boss. I told him this is this issue, and we need to increase his limit on his credit card. But because we know the client very well, there was a good connection with him, and we know him very well. That's why we increased his credit card limit, and we promised that he will come back and he will settle it down because we went beyond the approved limit for him. So this is one of the, for example, experience which happened. I wouldn't say it's a bad experience. Maybe it was the customer side fault, or maybe he didn't, activate, and we had to help him. Okay, so it's one of the examples. I mean, that where customer was abroad and he was stuck because of his cards.
Thank you very much, AQEELA. My other question would be related to one part where you talked about the pandemic. So particularly in the current pandemic, COVID-19, how uncertainty do you think affects managing this whole process of the elite clients, and how it affects the financial future of your clients? What did you learn about their issues, about their goals and aspirations in that sense?
Okay. As we know that nowadays many businesses has closed down. Okay, and it's also with us, like our clients. Like basically, I'm handling individual clients, but some of my clients have they have the corporate facilities also with us. So we know what's going on. So unfortunately, some of the clients, they had to close down their businesses. because they had some losses. Okay, the country has sealed, or I said, yeah, I mean the country borders, and they minimized the movement of their citizens. Many clients has lost their jobs, and salaries were not, credited on time in the account. So these were the struggle. I mean, struggling part was basically this, which my clients, or overall the bank's clients, were going through. But somehow we managed, because we had flexible policies, flexible pricing and policies and waivers, that we waived some of the installments for some of the clients. For example, the one who was not on time, or there was a delay in salary being credited in their account or something. So by being flexible with them, changing a bit of our policies, helping the customer, because now if we help the customer now in this situation, the customer will always remember that we helped him out today, and he will definitely mention it to to his surroundings, and he'll be loyal to you. He will not go anywhere, because in this pandemic, in the current situation, you helped him out, and you gave him a solution to his problem. So basically, this is what we faced nowadays. I mean, what I learned, there's many people now, or many clients, they prefer keeping cash in the accounts as savings or deposits, rather than investing, because as we all know, that market stock has decreased dramatically, and real estate also dropped. So many customers prefers not to invest in stock market, and keep the cash and deposits. But some of them would still invest in real estate, because as I said, the prices has dropped, the lands have dropped, properties dropped. So some of them still would like to invest and buy, for example, a land for investment purpose. So as it said, the cash is king, as it said. So if you have cash, you're rich.
Dr.
Perfect.
Amar?
Go ahead, Dr. Bina.
Dr. Amar, we have 3 questions from the audience, which is very good to have it during the panel. So this question goes for both of you. First, maybe Ms. AQEELA can answer. What is the challenge while dealing with the VIP customers? The question is asked by Nasser, Mr. Nasser.
What are the challenges faced by
while dealing with the VIP clients?
As I mentioned before, VIP clients are, some of them, I will not majorize the whole thing, but some of the clients are demanding. Okay, they will never be satisfied no matter what you do. In that way, that is one of the challenges which we face, that some clients are really demanding. Some clients will call small, tiny details, I mean, even if these are very good questions, because I have few clients of mine, they are not, they are dealing with me, okay, they have account with me, but at the same time, they have an account with so-and-so bank. They will come and ask me questions about so-and-so bank. And then, that what do you think? We shall I want to do this transaction with so-and-so bank. So, sometimes it's difficult for me to answer the client, to help them, because I don't know what's going on with the other bank, or what are the policies and procedures of that organization or that bank. What I know what's going on in the market, but what's hidden, what's in details, I will not know. So this is one of the challenges which I face, that some of the clients will come and ask me each and every details, whether it's any of the banks, any of the bank, even sometimes international banks. One of the clients will call me in public holidays. He will call me and he will ask me, I want to transfer a fund from so-and-so country to my account in Oman Arab Bank, مثلا. I want to know how much they will charge me. But how would I know what the correspond? I mean, what the other bank or the bank you are transferring from would charge you? You know, so some of the challenge. This is one of the challenges. Clients will always ask you tiny details. And plus, some of the clients are demanding. Some of the clients has bad moods some days. You know, you have to deal with clients with, you know, with different personalities. But the good thing about Elite, and what I measured in myself, I worked almost now 3 to 4 years in Elite. I can say that, and I said that before to even my colleagues, if they are here listening to me, and my friends, that really Elite helped me out to improve myself, my ability of having a patience. You know, it's very important to be patient with the client, because you know, it's very important to understand, to adopt what the client is saying. Now, if he's in a bad mood, or he's yelling at you or shouting on you, you need to have that patience in you. You know, especially the old aged client. Especially the old aged client, they will come, they will sit there for maybe half an hour, they will just talk to you, do nothing, they don't want anything, they don't want any business from you, but they will hour, and you have to respond and give them the attention. And but by the way, some of times also, you know, they turned, after listening to them, after giving half an hour of listening to these old clients, were so impressed, they found the comfort zone and they opened the account with me. So you know, these are day by day. So as was I saying, an improvement, because you meet different personalities in this department as a or customer service. You meet different personalities, you come across different people, you understand their feelings, their emotions, what they're going through. You understand the nature of the business they are in. So this is all really helps a person to improve within himself. It happened to me basically, and in fact, I appreciate it. I mean, even if they give me any negative feedback, I'll take it as a positive feedback, because I want to improve myself. So
thank you very much, AQEELA, for that insight. Arti, how do you deal with VIP customers and their what kind of challenges do you see?
Yeah, so I actually would like to add to what I said. They are old customers, especially the old ones, because they are cash rich. So you like all said and done, you know that they are your milk cows. You have to sustain them, and they will be rude. They will throw tantrums and everything. But ultimately, the staff at the centers would know that if these are being taken care of, my own incentive and sale percentage is met because they are happy. So there are a lot of customers. In fact, this is something I wanted to add when she was saying, they don't come to take services. They just come to sit down and have a discussion, because NRI, they have people staying outside India, a lot of money they have, but they don't listen to them. And the customer experience is something, I mean, especially for bank, which she can add. And for a service-based establishment, it starts right the point where your customer enters your establishment. From the security guard to the way you are greeted, all the way to the desk you're going to be sitting at. So, I mean, like, this is a personal experience again. I would never go to VLCC before. And I would always say, why these customers? You're not offering this service, but why they come back to you? Are you this? There has to be some dope which these guys are saying. So what is important is, if at all you recall your salon experience, the first thing which you hear is the initiative. If you're taken a hair service, everybody who's client will come and nice. So that gesture of saying and acknowledging something about the customer is really important. So I think so that is it. And at VLCC, bucket out customers in different categories. So on back end, but even on the front end, because your customers are handful, they are known by their names, the place they stay, the car which they drive, the phone they use. So pretty much you know everything about your customer. So it is important that you know how you handle your customer, and if you take care of your cream customer, your sales are being met. So I think so that flows in the entire system, top, bottom. Also adding to AQEELA, while she was saying, while we offer whatever we offer, there is a lot of value add we put in. So even giving a lot of cashbacks to particular bank members, credit card members is a thing which most of the businesses, who are into transactions too. So I, as VLCC, might reach out to her bank to offer some special discount if a person from her bank is coming and transacting at VLCC, and vice versa. So that really helps us as business to offer things or services across each other's business and keep adding more value for something which a customer, so in a way we know if her customer is coming and transacting at my place and she's ready to, like give some additional discount in terms of a transaction fees or maybe cashbacks which a customer can earn, that's a value add for me. And same goes for her. So that's how we actually build up a lot more things in terms of a customer experience by doing the right kind of value additions to a service which he's getting at a certain value.
Thank you so much for that, both of you. So you have enforced the personalization and, learning from each and every customer on a daily basis. That's what I think we teach, Dr. There is another question from one of our students, Abrar. He is asking both of you again, what does customer experience for your brand look like in the current pandemic? I think you both have answered now. And there is one more question which is coming from Mr. Haider, and he is asking Ms. AQEELA, outside the banking industry, how would you sustain a customer during the current COVID-19 crisis, especially if due to the current crisis you are not able to fulfill your commitment towards your customer? Long question indeed.
So shall I answer?
Please, thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Regarding Mr. Haider's question, basically, during the current pandemic, we had our own systems, because we had to sit back at home and work from home. So, but at the same time, like in my department, bank or as a bank, let me talk about the bank, like 60 or 70% of the employers were working from the bank and the rest were working from home. Now the one who's working from home were getting the full access, everything to attend the clients, to the queries, to the operations and everything. And when I was working from home during this pandemic, but my operation team was attending the office. So we had like mutual understanding between us as a colleague. We work as a team. Okay, so we had a mutual understanding that who will attend. Like for 1 week, we did it that way. So 1 week, my colleague will attend, and for the operation job, and I will be working from home, giving her all the instructions, attending the call or clients' calls, explaining everything to the client, and then or having emails on my laptop and sending emails to the operation department to fulfill everything. So it was basically as if I'm on my desk in the office. There was no difference. There was no any challenge. Alhamdulillah, everything went so smooth and so perfect. So this is, I hope it answered Mr. Haider's question.
Well, the second part of the question states, if you are unable to fulfill the commitment towards a customer, or you feel that you're unable, AQEELA, what do you normally do on behalf of the organization?
If I felt like I'm unable, like for me as a person, I'm not able, for example, to attend or to fulfill any requirement of the client. As for example, he wanted something, I'll go to my superiors. I will go to my management. For example, the customer wanted an increase of, for example, 10,000 in his credit card, but he's not eligible for it. So, and he's insisting on that. He's a VIP client. I cannot argue with him more. So I'll try to go. I will make him understand, of course, of all the consequences. But then I will go if he really wants it and he is eligible for. I'll go to my superiors to get the approvals from the management. For example, this is one of the, because I wasn't able to fulfill it, I have to go to that case.
There is one more question, Dr. Amar. We have, I think, 3 minutes precisely. Can we take one more question?
Yes, because I want to have one question as well myself.
Okay, so okay, why don't you ask first? No problem.
Okay, so my question goes for both of you, AQEELA, ARTI. with all what you have talked about when it comes to customer engagement, the importance of CRM, the communicating with consumers or customers, what do you think are the major skills that our graduates require from Majan or other than Majan? What kind of skills do they require when they are entering in the job market and in order to achieve higher customer engagement?
Would ARTI answer that or me?
Both of you, but
Yeah.
anyone start? ARTI, you want to go ahead first?
Okay, so I think so what's most important is the intent, right? For example, if at all you have that intent of solving a customer's problem, and if you see that in yourself as a skill, that you are always interested in the well-being of others, and that is something that comes to you naturally. Nobody can force you into something, and when it is forced, it doesn't look natural. So the intent which you have in yourself to be always around and solving things for others is a skill set which I see as a thing out there. And secondly, you need to be a goal-getter. So like AQEELA said, there will be problems and there will be constraints which will be in your limits. But if you have the intention and attitude which is of a go-getter to fix up a customer's problem, that is all what is needed, because solutions are there, people definitely understand. And even if you try and do something for a customer, if the intent shows, then the customer is okay even to take a no for an answer after you have tried, not before you have tried. So these two things I feel is really important for somebody who's actually handling CRM, the intent and the go-getter attitude to fix up a problem.
Thank you very much, ARTI. AQEELA, also as an MUC alumna, is there any other, adding to the question, is there anything that you have learned during your time here at Majan that have contributed to answering this question of the set of skills that you need in the market?
Yes, well, Ammar, I was graduated, I think, long back, but I do remember for my MBA, because I was graduated 2012 from my MBA. So I remember that there was a subject called managing people, and that really helped me in this job, basically, because sometimes I'll go back to the book if I need it to understand the nature of the client, and understand the way of dealing with a client, what skills is required, and how to manage those customers or clients. So yeah, of course, I'm sure. I mean, because I did accounting basically in Majan. I finished my accounting, okay, but I did my MBA, so that's where I had this subject to manage people, which really added value in my, in today's job, what I'm doing right now.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Dr. Bina, I think we are done with asking questions.
There is one question, if quickly any one of you can answer, because it is from a student, I don't want to miss it. The student asks you that, can you give some example of CRM software and usage? Any one of you.
Okay,
you
so
have a lot
from...
Yeah, okay. Rita, go ahead.
Yeah, so from my side, CRM software are very much industry specific. There is, again, as I said, no one solution to fit it all. So while banking will have a huge range of softwares for them, similarly, it goes for every other department. At VLCC, we use different softwares, and every platform is very different. For loyalty management, we had a different software. For customer lifecycle management, we use Microsoft products, Azure precisely. Rest, AQEELA may add.
Yes, like internationally, if you can go and even read about more details, you have the Apple CRM, you have Amazon CRM, you have Tesco CRM, for example, Coca-Cola CRM, and etc. I mean, there are lots of live examples of the CRMs which you can go and Google it and read about them. This is that international wise, I'm telling you.
Thank you for that, Dr. Amar. Any more questions?
Well, I have plenty of questions, but I would, well, we don't have, unfortunately, the time to ask them. But what I want to do right now, I want to, first of all, thank our speaker. Thank you very much, both of you. You've provided us with an amazing kind of information from totally two different industries. And I think our students have got the link with what they have been learning through CRM, marketing, customer engagement, and its role in the industry. So thank you very much for your time. I'm sure you had somewhere to be, and you've given us this opportunity to be here. Thank you both.
Thank you, Ammar, for having us. Really a great opportunity to have, with you, to be with you in this Majan College in this webinar. Thank you so much, Ammar.
You're most welcome. Thank you, ARTI, and inshallah, hopefully, we'll be able to invite you again at some point to talk about other aspects of what you do.
Yes, sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to both of you, and thank you from the Faculty of Business Management. That was so wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Just one last thing to the students. As AQEELA started her presentation with her personal experience, getting into her way of making it in professional life, I think so that is like your biggest takeaway from this session. Keep recording each and everything as a customer experience with yourself being a customer. And that can be as small as buying a shoe, as small as buying a pen. And just remember your key learnings and try and implement them when you get into a profession yourself.
Absolutely. Well said, ARTI. Thank you very much. So to my students who are having the MIS, so you're able now, you can go back to the main digital classroom. So I will see you over there. To the rest, thank you very much. AQEELA again and ARTI, thank you for this wonderful webinar. Thank you. Take care.